Hey, bro, are you like a videographer? Because I'm a cinematographer. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy Robert Teegarden. I'm back again with another video. If you're new here, welcome. I post content on a regular basis, filmmaking tips, business of being a creative. If you like that sort of thing, you're in the right place. Today, I wanted to talk about the age-old debate. I don't know if it's age-old, but it's all over the internet of videographer versus a cinematographer. And for those of you, I think the kids call this a trigger warning or like a YouTube rant warning. I'm just giving a disclaimer about the fact that I'm probably gonna piss a bunch of people off with how I feel about this thing. I've been seeing this, as I'm sure you have too, and the general consensus is that it's a bunch of horse shit. And I wanted to go over a couple of reasons in terms of why I think this argument is A, ridiculous, and B, being completely misrepresented. And if your feathers are in a ruffle or your panties are in a bunch or whatever the saying that you would like to use, I think I have some clarification that might help. The first thing that I think is interesting, and just for clarity's sake, is really defining what this debate is. There are two schools of thought, basically. One is that this is just kind of a silly matter of semantics or wordplay, and the other one is assigning value to each term. Videographer and cinematographer being two different things, which they are, but one having more value in our world of creatives than the other. And I don't really understand this, but from what I can muster up, it's that the videographer is a lesser than version, a lower value version, kind of a cheap off the shelf. You just got your equipment at Best Buy and now you consider yourself a videographer. And a cinematographer is somebody that has some professional level of experience and competency. Now, there may be some merit to this argument, but I think it's grossly misrepresented. From my opinion and what I've gathered from my years of experience, the difference between a cinematographer and a videographer is who writes your check. If you're a cinematographer, 9 times out of 10, you're being hired by a producer or by a director to do a particular job on a controlled set. Your boss, for lack of a better term, is the director or the producer. Somebody who already has a vision that you're playing a role for. You have a very specific set of skills that you need to execute that particular day, probably holding a camera, probably setting up a set of sorts, whether that's dressing, lighting, etc. And your job is to capture content, give it back to the director or the producer, and walk away. Now, if you're a videographer, you wear multiple hats and your boss is the client. That can be an influencer, that can be a company, that can be a corporation, that can be a director. But you're being hired to do a multitude of things, not just shooting or just lighting, right? Usually those things are combined in a cinematographer role. I know, but still, my point being is who is employing you is the main differentiating factor between cinematographer and videographer. That's That's the definition, as far as I can tell, of what the two things are. There is no qualitative assessment on who is better at what. Brings me to our next point, quality. Now, this whole argument is being made because the assumption and what people are trying to purport is that a cinematographer is inherently better than a videographer. But I think that this is preposterous. I know plenty of savage videographers that can light their ass off, that understand how to shoot, that have amazing gear, that understand how to run audio, that understand how to edit, how to do VFX, how to deliver to a client, but they also understand how to sell a package. They also understand how to put a crew together. They also understand how to light, how to run audio, all of these different things that are involved in being not a one-man show or a one-person show. It's being a one-stop shop for all of your visual needs. That's really what I think of it. Now, are there terrible videographers? Of course there are. Are there probably more terrible videographers than there are terrible cinematographers? fair. I think that's a fair argument. But are there also terrible cinematographers? Hell yeah, they are. There are people that are just plain shitty at their job on either side of the fence. So to inherently say that because you wear the title of a cinematographer, you are better than the title of a videographer is just plain nonsense. There are shitty people at every job on the planet, and there are exceptional people at every job on the planet, and then there's a whole bunch of levels in between. This brings me to my next point, which is who really fucking cares about these types of titles? Like, what clout are we chasing with having some form of like Instagram bio or some other thing that's associated to our name? What really matters to me is not the social visual clout that you're seeing or the things that you're proposing about yourself. It's really the quality and the experience of the work that you provide to the client that is hiring you, whether that's cinematographer or videographer. The main thing that matters at the end of the day is, are you serving that client in the best possible way? Are you giving them all they need and more? We are in a business of service, and the service-oriented businesses need to make sure that no matter what the situation, who is employing them, that they go above and beyond what they are paid to do, because that leads to a reputation of great service, and that word of mouth leads to more jobs, which is another way for you to practice being an exceptional service person. So, to me, none of this stuff actually matters. It's just disheartening to see that in a community of creatives who should be constantly supporting one another because we understand how difficult it is to make a living just through the way that we see the world, we should be supporting one another regardless of our self-proclaimed titles, rather than trying to cut someone down by saying, hey, you're trying to take work from me or do something else. I don't understand this. There's enough bread to go around for people to work regardless of if they're a cinematographer or a videographer. And so how about we get, and this is where I start to get a little bit warm and fuzzy about this stuff, why aren't we sitting here supporting one another, trying to level up the game of what visual images look like in this particular time frame, rather than trying to separate one another and cut people down because they don't have as much experience as you, bucko? Why are you so insecure? What is it that happened in your past that you need to prove that you're better than other people? It doesn't, who can, no, I don't care. No one cares. And on that one, that's really all I have to say about this thing, but I just needed to get this off my chest. And if you vibe with what I'm saying, or even if you don't, leave a dislike for all I care and tell me all about it in the comments about how wrong I am in my assessment of this thing. And then I'll go and search your profile and I'll see all the stuff that you've put together, and your hateful, vicious comments in my YouTube section will just lead to me looking at the fact that you've never put anything out into the world. With that, I'm done with this video. We'll see you in the next one. If you liked it. If you subscribe, that would be great too. If I offended you, I don't really care at this point. Just go out there, be a good human being, support other creatives, get to work, and hopefully you too can support your life through creativity like we're all aspiring to do. Out.